Hey guys, Love Supreme here, and I want to talk about the teen takeover. You know, the one that is just ravishing all across America. Yeah, that's right, not just Detroit. We got Washington, New York, and South America. Yes, and this kind of reminds me of the flash mobs that were happening in 2023 when they were going up in the malls and they were just ravishing and taking things that didn't belong to them. Mm-hmm. But that's one thing that we got to deal with. But the other thing that kind of came to mind is like, this is not the first set of YNs that we've had to deal with here in Detroit. Let's go back to the 80s, 90s, maybe the early 2000s when the drug dealers were ravishing through our city. And how about those killers and murderers as well? Our city is still trying to recoup from the damage that was done to our community by the young YNs at that time. 80s, 90s, YNs, extra dealers, killers, or, what do you want to call them, that were, or who took over our city, and that we're still trying to recoup from. You guys are pointing the finger at these same YNs, and you're the same YNs that tore up our city, and again, we're still trying to recoup from the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. So I think the example will lie on those folks. We want to know where the parents are of these children. Go figure, wonder who gave birth to those children. Anywho, but I just want us to just slightly roll it back a little bit because 80s and 90s is way worse than what it is now. I mean, way worse. But I don't think the people will take accountability of that destroyed our communities, that put a lot of our family members on drugs. Let's just call it what it is. 80s and 90s was made way worse than what it is right now. And I think that a lot of these people that are sort of pointing the finger at this group is forgetting that they may have birthed this group or co-signed the behavior by being an example of that. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the reformity of you drug dealers and you ex-killers and everything, but our city was totally terrorized in the 80s and the 90s. And I mean, right now, what these young kids are doing, yes, it's out of hand. But I think that we got a couple of people that need to roll back their judgment, because I still live in a city that has been totally degraded down to almost zero because of the times of the drugs and the murderers. Oh, we're not gonna forget the Angel Knights and stuff like that. Detroit just has a staple of things. But what I just wanted to bring to light is that we got a lot of extra dealers and murderers and hustlers and things like that. They got a point opinion about these YNs when you guys were the YNs of our generation. And I just want some people to just kind of look themselves in the mirror before they start going what these YNs are doing, because our city has always been placated with a YN generation. Gang, drugs, murderers, hustlers. We can go on. But we are not just going to sit here and say that these kids are just doing such damage when we're trying to come up from the damage of the last 30, 40 years. We got to do better, okay? And another thing, I don't want you to think that I'm taking sides with these children. No, because matter of fact, I think you guys need to just go ahead and just spray the whole crowd. I think one good spray, I don't think they'll come back outside. I know that's against the law, but it beats, guns coming out, things of that nature. But these kids do got to back it up. They really do got to back up this activity. I'm really concerned that they're going to bring in the martial law. These kids are out of hand. And if we can't get them in order, then you know who's going to try to get them in order. We do not want that. Let's keep the Marshall boys out of our city. Let's get a hold of our kids ourselves. So that means DPD, get your tear gas together. No dogs, though. No dogs and no guns, okay? You might could even use a taser. I think a taser might be okay. Don't hurt them, though, okay? We want them to come home safe, if they got a home to come to.